Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, my name is Mark Reinhardt. I rise in opposition to elimination and/or cuts of DDA or PSR services. These services helped me to pursue my American dream, the dream of following in the steps of Edward R. Murrow or Walter Cronkite. At 18, I was a dysfunctional mess. There were roadblocks, but I passed them. I am now able to learn from my mistakes and grow. If you are wondering about those like me who contribute to human society, look no further than the economics game theory man John Forbes Nash, who was a schizophrenic himself. With these services, we have the opportunity for Stephen Hawking's, Professor Nash's, Temple Grandin's, or in my case, the next Walter Cronkite. Without these services, I'd be institutionalized and/or in prison. Let these services contribute to their individual liberty and make a positive mark on the community around them, as well as the society of humanity at large. As one great broadcaster said, that's the way it is.
Thank you, Mark. Amy Bertram.
Traveled outside of Idaho on a regular basis so Nicholas could receive therapies and interventions not offered within the state. We did what most parents would do when informed that a child has a disability or an illness. We tried to find out as much about the disability as we could and try to find out to do as much as we could for him. But we did all this not on state or federal money, but on our own, out of our own pocket, on credit cards, on borrowed money. Nicholas does qualify for and receive services through Medicaid. However, Medicaid far from covers all the therapies and expenses associated with caring for a child who has a developmental disability, nor do we as a family expect it to. Developmental disability services such as developmental therapy help Nicholas obtain and maintain skills. Nicholas does not attend developmental therapy as a means of social life or as a substitute for a babysitter. He receives developmental therapy to gain the skills he needs to help him function more effectively at school, with his family, at church, and in his community. Nicholas is a great kid, but like all children, he has his challenges. But unlike other children who don't have developmental disabilities, it is harder to help him overcome his challenges. Our family utilizes the support of our extended families, our neighbors, and friends.
1 minute, please.
But sometimes that is still not enough. And we need the expertise that developmental therapy provides. I'm talking to you today because I want those services and therapies to still be available to supplement and complement what our family supplies to Nicholas after his 18th birthday. And I know individuals with developmental disabilities are capable of great things, and there are plenty of examples in Idaho and other places to support that belief. But these individuals need to be supported so they can achieve their full potential. I know full well that the legislature and the state is up against concerns about budget, but cutting Medicaid services is not the answer to the budget problem. I know many Idahoans, myself included, that would support raising taxes and increasing state revenue to keep the programs and services in Idaho that make a great place to live. There's a reason that community-supported living came to be. It's because it affords a better life for the individual and it comes at great savings over institutionalization. Please do not support the cuts to these vital services and consider raising revenues to keep Idaho a great place to live.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Directly into the mic as possible.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
It's a little light, but if you, or speak right up, if you can.
All right. Well, I'm here to represent the home health care agencies and independent living. I'm just going to read something I wrote up. I've been a quadriplegic for over 20 years due to an auto accident. And as you can probably imagine, my life has changed drastically. I was gainfully employed, independent young man, married and starting a family. My loss of mobility from the neck down required some major lifestyle changes. At the top of my list is my dependency on others to assist me with almost everything imaginable. One of the major things that I require is the assistance of getting in and out of bed with transfers to and from my electric wheelchair. When I get up in the morning and go to bed, someone has to be there to help me with all the things able-bodied people take for granted. I'm considered a full care quadriplegic by the nurse reviewer for Medicaid, with needs ranging from brushing my teeth to help with relief of my bowels and bladder. I'm here today to talk about my benefits received from the state for HCBS, home care-based services. I'm currently receiving some assistance from one of the many agencies available to people in my situation. The company is called a Full Life Agency, or ADIS, which provides me with a caregiver to assist me with most of my morning needs. I also rely on a roommate,
1 minute,
family, and
please.
friends to take care of my daily needs. Living in my home is the savior for having any chance for the quality of life needed to maintain a sound mind and body. Recent changes in Medicaid policy have put me into a financial tailspin. I'm at risk of losing my home and the independence and quality of life it provides for me. In October 1st of 2010, Medicaid passed their own rule that they saw fit for the eligibility to receive home health care. So anyone who has home health care is required now to pay cost of share for incomes exceeding $1,011. So my cost of share is $580 a month. And with that cost of share, that just puts me into a bind. I could be
Greg,
driven into
thank
a
you.
nursing home. A nursing home costs $5,000 a month.
Thank you, Greg. We appreciate
The bottom
your-
line is quality of life. Let me keep mine, please.
Thank you.
Chairman Cameron, Chairman Bell. My name's Michelle Bartlett, and I'm from Idaho Falls, and I come to you today to speak to you from the Idaho Midwifery Council. I'm here today to report to you all, happily, committee members, that we have 33 licensed midwives in the state, and the program is working well, and I'm one of those licensed midwives. I'd like to speak to you today about the cost savings to the state Medicaid program. The information that I'm bringing you today comes from the vital statistics, Idaho Vital Statistics, and also from Medicaid. 42% of all births in Idaho are paid by Medicaid. That's about 1,000 births per year annually, and these numbers are from 2009. The average normal vaginal delivery cost to the state general fund is about $6,140. The average C-section delivery cost to Medicaid is about $10,000. We believe that's a conservative estimate. By right now, currently, women cannot choose in the state of Idaho to use a licensed midwife for their services, for delivery services. The state's going to pay out that money in the general fund regardless of where the woman chooses to have her baby or which provider that she uses. But right now, that's currently a licensed midwife is not an option for these women. We have many mothers who, because of the economic situation in our state, and we're all aware of that, and that's why we're all here today, many of these mothers had insurance in the past and are now, their husbands have lost their jobs or they've lost their medical benefits. And so now these women are using Medicaid and they have no option to come back to a midwife for their services. We project, based on our numbers, that of that 10,000 women that would be using
1 minute,
Medicaid
please.
every year, about 2% of those may choose the option of a midwife, with the savings to the state general fund of about $130,000 per year. And so it's not a, it's a piece of the pie. It's a little bit of a piece of the puzzle and a little bit of a savings to the state. And we want to try to do our part to try to help create a solution. So thank you very much for the
Thank you,
opportunity to
Michelle.
speak to you today.
Thank you.